Sometimes it's Shawn. What the What the hell? You spilled all over the place. You're a mess.
Just ignore me. Just keep doing. What were you doing? What were you talking about?
Kill like the special kid that sits in the corner of the room with the hat on. Is like, don't bother me, please. I don't know how to talk to strangers.
Constantly like writing on the walls. Putting my boogers everywhere. I do that already.
Yeah, like that wouldn't be much of a downgrade.
It's the same person.
Oh my God.
Where are we?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of the Thought Patrol podcast. I am joined by Caitlyn.
Hi.
And it is just the two of us tonight. So we have come to bless your beautiful ears with this episode. And this episode, we will be talking about some of our pet peeves when it comes to games as our main topic. And so we're going to go ahead and get into the intro. So I've had a good week. I haven't been doing much, playing games on top of everything else in general that we normally do, and just kind of enjoying life. How about you, Caitlyn? I know you're getting ready to start at Chick-fil-A. We talked about that a little bit on our after hours. And you're moving on up. How does that feel?
Yeah, I actually got scheduled this week, so I'm actually going to be doing some sort of training, actually. So that's not very exciting, but, making that money.
Yeah, straight up making money. We start school on the 21st, so we're going back into that. Well, that's going to be fun. And, just again, moving on up, getting into the shitty years of adulthood. So that's fantastic.
Paying bills.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It really has been a pretty chill, slow week. Nothing really much has happened, at least for me. So that's about it for that. We'll keep that really short, and we'll just go ahead and move on into most of our little meat and potatoes of this podcast. So we're going to move on to the housekeeping real quick. We do, in fact, have a Discord. If you guys use Discord or would like to come and just talk to the hosts, it can be downloaded on your phone, and it can be used on a computer. We are there. We have some people there. Again, I've said it before, it's kind of a ghost town. But besides that, it's a nice way for you to get anything you need to say to us. If you have, if you don't want to do Discord, another way of doing that is through the comment section. And if you like our content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, either through the podcasting services or on YouTube, our home base. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and click that bell as well. And we do, on top of that, have a Twitter at Thought Patrol PD. So real quick, I know last week we didn't get a chance to check or look at it, but we did get another iTunes review. And I think that was from Sam, who joined us last week. Very cool. Very, very knowledgeable. Me and Caitlyn kind of just sat back during that whole comic book talk, because that's not really our
forte.
Yeah, forte, I guess you could say, when it comes to that. So, but I think, yes, it was Sam, aka The Flash, and he said literally and figuratively food for thought. 5 stars. In a world of podcasts that rely on comedic gimmicks and sponsors, this podcast takes intellectual talk about gaming and pop culture to the next level. The hosts all contribute insightful points, charismatic quips, and respectful rebuttals of differing opinions. If you want a podcast that will challenge your mind and your brain, then this is the podcast for you. So thank you, Sam.
Oh, very kind.
Yeah, I don't know. These guys, they really, again, I'll pay them later, but they really,
I'll tip you.
Yeah, I'll give you a little, slide a little dollar in your bra. You know what I'm saying? And I do really appreciate it, you guys. If you're listening, if any of you out there are listening and you like our content, I know giving a review through iTunes is a bitch. It's such a pain in the ass to get through. But if you would feel the need, we would really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot in their algorithm, getting us higher up so we could get more people in this community and ultimately a better experience for you guys out there. So really appreciate you guys taking the time to leave those comments and just give us feedback on how we're doing. It really is really, 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 really cool. So here we go. We're starting with our Germany or Florida segment. Now this time, I failed to do this last time, but I'm going to go ahead and explain the article first, and then we will move into our skit that we do weekly, that we're going to start doing weekly. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting, I guess I could say. But definitely, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try with Caitlyn. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get through this with you guys as well. So in this article, it is basically there was a rally held where it was it was basically an anti-Semite, but it was like against these neo-Nazi groups that have risen up in this town, and they actually were able to trick the way they worded the articles or everything about this. They were able to trick neo-Nazis to come and participate in the rally. So they had neo-Nazis rallying against neo-Nazism. So that's fucking fantastic. I don't know how the hell they managed that, but kudos to them. So that's what our little skit going forward will be about. And yeah, so Caitlyn, you'll be doing the anchor and the interviewer, and I'm going to try to get my my ridiculous evil scientist German voice going. Yeah, just don't speak too close if you don't want to. So we move on to our Germany and Florida segment with our breaking news.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Channel 69 News. Tonight we bring you a live update ride with confusion and potential mayhem at the anti-fascism rally at Downtown Eatery, known for its tasty treats. We are live at the scene with
Caitlyn, I guess.
Caitlyn, to explain the situation in detail.
Thanks, Caitlyn. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're interviewer.
All right.
You can say thanks to yourself.
Thanks. So.
We're on low budget at Channel 69 News tonight.
I just teleported right to the scene.
Teleport right to the scene.
Well, thanks, Caitlyn. We are here in a place where you normally hear the joys of children enjoying hot dogs and ice cream, but with a much more serious purpose tonight. We are talking with a participant of a local peace rally to fight against skinhead extremists that are threatening to take control of the local Dairy Queen. Hello, sir. What inspired you to stand up against such repulsive fascist behavior as we're seeing here tonight?
Ah, yes. We have come to claim delicious frozen treats for all of our comrades and end the impurity of... Wait, what? We were told that this was the area for supporting our beautiful fascist cause, not rallying against us. What is wrong with you idiots? I told you it looked like the wrong side of the street. Our group was supposed to have a food table set up with snacks. Do you see any Wiener Schnitzel? Do you see sauerkraut? No! Where is my Wiener Schnitzel? I cannot defeat these free-thinking scum without sausage in my mouth. I demand to know what's going on here and who is running this rally. The areas should be clearly marked.
Calm down, sir. I'm sure we can get you the help you need. Okay. So what made you choose to be a skinhead? Especially with all the other back-ass word. I'm not saying it next. Especially with all the other ass-backwards extremist choices out there.
So it all started when I was a little Sitzfleisch. We would wake up every day and shave our head.
I think that means like break in the flow. I think that means like I Googled it and it's like someone that has the tenacity to sit through something that's either boring or very difficult in their life.
Oh, me.
Yeah, there you go.
So it all started when I was a little Sitzfleisch.
I don't know how to pronounce it anymore.
We would wake up every day and shave our heads so that we were more aerodynamic. I bet you didn't know that. The skinhead look is very practical. You should see how slick we all are, bald and oiled up, and oh... Yes, well, we would all go to the school and learn about the essence of life and how to behave around others and treat your neighbors, as well as death to...
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Well, we had plenty of sausage to go around. I loved getting stuffed with...
Okay, well, that's enough of, well, whatever the hell that was. Sir, why choose Dairy Queen as the center of your current uprising? And what do you plan to do now that you found yourself on the wrong side of the protest area? I see the good people surrounding your group are certainly thrilled.
Well, to be honest, all skinheads love ice cream. Of course, only vanilla. And we shall band together and conquer. Also, since the organizers of this rally have seen fit, I just got the joke.
Yeah, that was fun. So messed up.
I'm so sorry. I just got it. Oh, shit.
Anyways.
No, thank you, Shawn, for that.
Also, since the organizers of this rally have not seen fit to not clearly designate the appropriate areas, we shall reveal Plan B. We have fused the newest sciences with the mystery of the occult and created the ultimate weapon. Come, my brethren, release the Mecha Hitler.
Oh, you've got to be... Is that... Oh my god.
Wait, where are you going? You haven't even seen the lasers.
Oh, fuck the chili dogs. Back to you, Caitlyn. Teleports. And that was our story for tonight. Mecha Hitler, was it? Really? Tune back in next week for our next exciting and likely ridiculous story. Oh my god, I should have taken that law degree when they wanted me to.
Yay! That was really good. Much better than last week. It's because we didn't have Tyler.
I'm good at improv, okay?
Yeah,
no one else.
I think that went well. I think that accent went through a lot of different accents. It did not say German the entire time.
I couldn't really figure out what it was half the time.
I mean, I was kind of the evil scientist.
Shawn, if you're listening, that joke, oh my god.
The vanilla.
I was like, holy
took me
shit.
out of
I was like, did he just say that?
Oh, man. That was fantastic. So, that was our Germany 4 segment. We will come back after we go through...
Where's my guess?
I'm saying after the box office tops, we'll talk about how the movies are doing in the box office, and we will come back to that afterwards. So let's go ahead and, again, look at that. And at number 1, we have Dunkirk, still at the top, which is Warner Brothers Studios. And this week it grossed $41 million, which is a 44% decrease from last week. But its total gross is $115 million with a budget of only $100 million. So it has made its budget in just its second week. So definitely looked interesting. We saw some of the trailers for that. It's the one that did Batman. What's his name? Christopher Nolan?
Yeah.
I think it's Christopher Nolan. Yeah. So it's him. I heard it was a very good film. I heard it was like a really loud film too. So, what?
The Emoji Movie's actually on this list.
The Emoji Movie
so
is indeed on this list.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the Emoji Movie is at number 2, which is from Sony. And you've all heard about the Emoji Movie. If you live on the internet, everyone's heard the memes. It has made $37 million in the week.
That's ridiculous.
Stop taking your kids to see these movies, man.
I heard it was so bad. Like,
yeah, I did too. I heard it was horrible.
Scales of bad. It has like a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's really low.
It's what did they expect?
It's crazy.
It's cringe.
So this is its first week, so it's made 37 mil, and it was only had a budget of 50 mil. So it'll definitely be making that. And you know what that means? We'll probably be seeing some sequels.
I pray. I can only pray that they don't make that stupid decision.
Sacrifice a child or something. We need to get the Emoji Movie off the box office.
Please, God.
At number 3, we have Girls Trip, which is Universal. This week it made $28 million, which is a 37% decrease from last week. And it has grossed $74 million in its run with a budget of only $19 million. And it's still on its second week, so I still think it's still got a decent way to go coming into the future. We have number 4 is Atomic Blonde, which is at its first week has only made $25 million, which is not good. I've heard a lot of it. The problem is it's just nothing new. It's just the same.
It's the same old shit.
Yeah, it's same spy
again.
movie.
No.
Dealing with that. It's just regurgitating the
garbage.
thing. Yeah, so I've heard it wasn't too good, sadly.
You know how you know? They advertise it too much.
I've heard that Charlize Theron, I think her name is, she did a lot of the stunts on her own, which is really cool.
Awesome. Should have been a different role.
I know, but still, it's cool. And that has made...
You know who else does that? Tom Cruise.
But he's Tom Cruise.
Exactly, so...
And its budget was only 30 mil, so it will be making its budget back at the very least. Wow, 30 mil. That's surprising. I didn't think about that. Then at number 5, we still have Spider-Man on the top 5. It grossed 21 million this week, a 40% decrease from last week, with a total of 286 million at its 4th week. So I still think it's puttering out, but it's still got a little bit to go. And its budget was 175 million. So that was our box office tops for the week. Definitely interesting stuff. We'll see how. Let's see the drop. I want to see come next week when we do this again, how much of a percentage drop the Emoji Movie has.
I'm sure it'll be a lot.
I can see at least like a 50 to 55%.
Yeah, it's probably just first weekend hype.
Drop.
First week hype.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone taking their kids to it and shit. Just parents trying to get their kids to do something that's not sit at home and set stuff on fire, stuff like that.
Yeah, because all these other movies are like, they're more, I guess, adult movies. Like they're for teenagers and kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So the Emoji movies,
I can see,
that's the only thing they can bring their kids to.
I can see parents taking a lot of their kids to seeing Spider-Man.
Well, like infants.
Yeah.
Not infants, but you know what I mean.
Well, I don't think infants would get 90% of the stuff happening there, but I understand where you're coming
Suck
from.
my ass. Right?
So, going back to our segment, Germany or Florida, we do have the answer. What do you think, Ken? What do you think it was? Germany or Florida?
I think we have to say Florida.
Florida. We do have a lot of neo-Nazis in Florida.
Yeah.
Mostly central and northern Florida. So it is definitely a difficult kind of guess there. But it is, in fact, Germany. Sadly.
That's interesting.
I was hoping to not... some of you might kind of pull that because I was using a German accent. But that was mostly just to tie them because most Nazis were German. But
wow, look at that.
I don't know.
Doesn't that make sense?
It was really... It was a fun skit, though. I think it was cool. Oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
Don't die.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is I've changed the way we do our notes now. So we will have more hosts reading the news instead of me blabbering for a 40-minute segment. So let's go ahead and move on to our news, little happenings over the past week. And me and Caitlyn are going to go back and forth, shotgun these off real quick for you and talk a little bit about them. And I'm going to have Caitlyn go first with the For Honor Season 3 details.
Okay, so For Honor Season 3 includes new Highlander and Gladiator heroes. Ubisoft is not finished with the fighting game For Honor. The publisher announced that the biggest to-date third season, dubbed Grudge and Glory, will arrive on August 15th for all platforms. It adds new content in the form of new heroes and maps. All of the maps and updates are free with this when the update hits. The new heroes, Highlander and Gladiator, will be available on August 15th for people who can own the season pass. Everyone else can buy them with 15,000 steel credits
quite a bit.
A week later on August 22nd. Here are some other key takeaways about For Honor's third season. New legendary gear rarity. Max reputation for all heroes is rising to 40. 1v1 duel tournaments are coming for all platforms. 4v4 ranked modes are coming later this year. Several additional gameplay updates are coming at launch. More gameplay adjustments to better balance offensive and defensive playstyles will continue to be tested for the duration of Season 3. Ubisoft will showcase the Grudge and Glory content during a live stream event taking place starting at 11 a.m. on August 12th.
Cool stuff. I've played quite a bit of For Honor. I kind of fell away from it a little bit as other games came out, but I am definitely looking forward to go back to it. We have talked before about the changes coming to it, but this is nice seeing that they are working on balancing their game because balance is super important in a fighting game, obviously. I know you never played this game, Cam, but what do you think about the idea that basically the main idea of the game is that it's a fighting game done in you know how normal fighting games like Street Fighter like 2D planes? So you have like two characters going at it on like a 2D plane. But this one does it where everything is 3D, so you're constantly moving, and it's just all these different like classes of soldiers that throughout history coming at each other. So Japanese, Viking,
like Naruto.
Yeah, Japanese.
Like right.
Japanese.
Don't you fight like 3D in Naruto?
Oh, that's what you're referring to. Yeah. It's like that kind of, except it's slower. It's not as fast paced, kind of. So,
like, okay.
Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, it's a very simplified fighting game. There's not a lot of tech to it when it comes to other games where you're inputting a shitload of button combinations. This game's a lot more about kind of relying on certain things that your character excels at, and it's a little bit of reaction time. There's some reaction time.
Yeah, I'm not really good at those kinds of games like Street Fighter and stuff. So
yeah, no, they have a super high skill curve. Super high skill curve.
So high. Like I can barely move.
Have you ever played
games.
Like, is there ever a fighting game that you have played that you enjoyed?
Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh, I remember when we played Marvel vs. Capcom.
Game. We had it on the Xbox.
Did you touch any of the Naruto game?
No, not really. No.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Never been a fan of Naruto either, so
yeah, I can see why.
The point.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's what's coming to season 2. I don't feel like started too late. I guess it has been a while since Shinobi and Centurion came out. At least a month or two. So that's cool. And again, I'm glad they're balancing their game. It's super nice.
What are the seasons? Are they like stories?
No, they're just kind of like every couple of months. So when they do introduce the rank system, your rank should reset every season. So it's just like they'll come back, they add new stuff. It's just a way to get you back into the game, kind of. Yeah, so it's cool stuff. So let's go on to the next article. We have Destiny 2 pre-orders exceed Destiny 1's, and Blizzard has a big quarter. Activision Blizzard's net revenue for the quarter was $1.63 billion, a slight increase over the $1.57 billion generated during the same time last year. $1.31 billion of that came in the form of digital net revenue, a 15% increase. With the release of Destiny 2 near, Activision stated that a recent console beta attracted more players than Destiny 1's beta. Additionally, pre-orders for the sequel have surpassed those of the first game. That being said, no actual numbers were offered. So, Blizzard or Overwatch in general is just fucking all over. It's not all over the place, but it's I guess that's the right word, but it's everywhere. You see it everywhere. It's all over social media. People have been talking about it forever. I could see this going on for another couple of years just because of the hype behind this game. It's a very good game. I'm not a huge fan of multiplayer-only experiences, but I do enjoy it for what it is, and I'm happy that they're making so much money because it is a very well-put-together game. And, yeah, I'm just glad. But it's crazy to think that $1.31 billion of that came in the form of digital net revenue. Just insane.
Yeah.
Insane. So that like $1.31 billion was all stuff that either digital purchases or their loot box system, which is crazy.
I'm sure that's where they're gonna make a lot of their money.
No, yeah, definitely. And I'm kind of
and you're like a big part of that.
Not,
so I'm sure you're a good chunk of that 15%.
Yeah. Well, I bought a couple boxes in my time.
Maybe like a lot.
Like
$40 worth.
Multiple times.
On multiple occasions.
Don't rub your face on the mic.
Yeah, I have makeup on. I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and the fact that it gets picked up. All your pores are being broadcast. Stop it. So, Final Fantasy. Oh, no. Your turn.
It's my turn, please.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I always get the long ones. Final Fantasy 14 expansion and strong near Automata sales and Square Enix earnings. Square Enix has reported its earnings for its most recent quarter, which came to an end on June 30th, 2017. Launch of Final Fantasy... Was that 17?
That's 14, Cal.
I don't know Roman numerals. Launch of Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood expansion led to an increase in Square Enix's MMO business. MMO sales for the quarter were 9.3 billion yen, over 3 billion more than during any quarter in the previous year. I can't even think that high. How are these people making so much money?
What the fuck was that?
I can't even think like that much.
Dude, 9.3 billion, that's a big number.
Like, I can't even, I don't know. I have like $2 in my bank account, so I can't even imagine that.
Imagine having like a percentage of that. That's fucking crazy.
That would pay for all of my college, just having like 5% of that. Can I? Hey, Square Enix, you want to hook me up with a scholarship?
Slide me over some money?
You want to give me a scholarship? Okay.
You know, like just a little bit of money.
Yeah, you know. Okay, so the publisher will continue to follow the MMO genre with next 2 months within. Kyle, did you write this?
I'm sorry.
Within the next 2 months, we will
typing.
see new versions of Dragon Quest X released for PS4 and Nintendo Switch in Japan. However, Square Enix did not see a strong showing of its catalog titles, referencing Nier Automata, or same thing. No specific unit sales figures for any of these games were shared. Total net sales for the quarter were 57 billion yen. Holy shit! Oh my god!
I feel so poor.
I know, like, I don't have 1% of that. That's how much money is that? $5,700.
Welcome to
High School Graduate that can't do math. Right
welcome
here.
to math class starring Caitlyn. Caitlyn, what's the square root of 64?
8.
Hey,
Okay, I did.
Go.
I was in remedial math senior year, so I'm not good at math, as you can see. Where was I? Operating income was down to 3.9 billion from 8.9 billion. In terms of the mobile market, Square described its moneymakers: Final Fantasy, Brave,
Exvius.
Hoshi no Dragon.
Thank you for that. Dragon Quest, Monsters Super Light, and Kingdom Hearts Union X continuing to show a strong performance. Mobile sales show an increase to 23.7 billion yen, up from 17.9.
Yeah.
19. My dyslexia.
The Japanese mobile market is fucking
insane.
Intense. They make a shitload of money off
Those
of
Japanese people, man, they like to be on their phones.
Well, it's because they don't have like a lot of time during the day. Because they're
what makes you say that?
They work huge portions of their day. Like going in at like 7 to 8 in the morning and coming home at like 7 to 8 in the evening. Like they work huge amounts of time. And
you're Japanese? You know that?
Well, I listened to a podcast called the Anime Addicts Anonymous, and they had 2 of the hosts actually live there for 2 years. And they've talked that the hours that they had to work were insane.
But I'm sure they get hella benefits.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, a lot of their benefits are regulated. It's just the fact that it's bad enough where there's a term for dying by overwork. Like dying from being worked too hard.
What's that term, Carl?
I don't fucking know. I just know that the companies that do that are called black companies. That if they overwork their people, they're called black companies.
Damn.
Yeah, it's fucked up stuff. So, well, I got kind of morbid. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Yeah, highest suicide rate, lowest birth rate. Japan's in the shitter. Their economy's not doing very well. Yeah.
Kind of like
sorry, weebs.
Venezuela.
Oh, yeah, Venezuela's not doing too good
either.
Shit
show right now.
Yeah.
Shit show.
Schnitzel. A schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Wiener schnitzel. So moving on to the next, we have our game release dates for August 2017. So we're going to go through all of August. We've got quite a bit here, so I'm going to go through them real quick. I'm going to give you the name, what it's coming to, and when it will be out. We're a little bit into August, so I'm still going to start from the beginning. We have The Long Dark, which is coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August 1st. We have Patapon Remastered, which is coming to PS4 on August 1st. Tacoma, which I've heard is a very good indie game, which is coming to Xbox One, PC on August 2nd. We have Black Hole coming to PS4, Xbox One, August 8th. We have Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, which looks really cool, coming to PS4 and PC on August 8th. We have Lawbreakers coming to PC and PS4 on August 8th. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August the 8th. We have Night Trap, the 25th anniversary, coming to PS4 on August the 11th. Do you remember I don't think you played it, Kim, but do you remember hearing about Night Trap? Let me sit up here.
No. Well, I don't even know what it's about.
Didn't someone we watched
trap people at night?
Didn't someone we watched make a video on it? It was like really shitty. Remember like those kids trapped in the house and the graphics were really crappy. It was on like a Sega CD or something along those lines.
No, I don't know.
I think JonTron might have made a video on them. Someone made it, but I remember watching it, and that game was. So that's interesting to see that coming back, on top of the fact that it's being a physical copy that they're releasing, which is interesting. So that we also have Sudden Strike 4 on PC on August the 11th, Agents of Mayhem on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August 15th, City Skylines on PS4, August 15th, Matterfall on PS4, August 15th, Nidhogg 2 coming to PS4 and PC, August 15th. Man, fucking Xbox is dropping the ball. Observer coming to PS4, Xbox One on PC, PS4, Xbox One, PC on August the 15th. Sonic Mania coming to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on August the 15th. Actually, Switch is the one dropping the ball here. Sudden Strike 4 coming to PS4 on August the 15th, so a little bit later. We have The Escapist 2 coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on August 22nd. Chroma Gun coming to PS4 on August 22nd. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series.
Oh my god! Wait,
and you're like a mile away from the mic. What's going on?
3.
Yeah, it's been coming out for a while.
What the fuck?
Coming to PS4, PS3, Xbox One, Xbox 360, and iOS on August the 22nd. We have Mages of Mystralia coming to PS4 on August the 22nd. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy coming to PS4 on August the 22nd. White Day. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that was...
I love White Day.
Yeah, White Day, A Labyrinth Named School coming to PS4 and PC on August the 22nd. F1 2017 coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, August the 25th. Madden NFL 18 coming to PS4, Xbox One, August the 25th as well. I don't think I'm ever going to do this again. I thought this would be a good idea. At least it only have to happen once a month. But this is too long. Absolver coming to PS4 and PC, August the 29th. Ark Survival Evolved finally being released out of its, I think it was in beta. PS4, Xbox One, PC on August 29th. Everybody's Golf coming to PS4 on August 29th. Hello Neighbor, which that game just fell.
Fuck that game.
That game fell into a shitter. On Xbox One, PC, August 29th. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle coming to the Switch on the 29th. Pillars of Eternity, the Complete Edition, coming to PS4 and Xbox One on the 29th. Oh my god, so many games come out on the 29th. What the fuck?
Oh my god.
Resident Evil Revelations, PS4, Xbox One, August 29th. Warriors All-Stars, PS4, PC, August 29th. Windjammers, PS4, PS Vita, August 29th. XCOM 2, War of the Chosen, PS4, Xbox One, PC, August the 29th. Yakuza Kiwami, PS4, August 29th, which I think is a DLC for Yakuza 0. And then the Life is Strange prequel, Before the Storm. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 31st of August.
I hate that they made a prequel to that game. That's so stupid.
Did they like leave an area like in the ending?
Well,
without spoiling?
What happened? Well, without spoiling, what happened was that like in the first few like parts of Life is Strange, what happens is like this girl's friend goes missing.
Okay.
And I don't know, for some dumbass reason, it never becomes a part of the game again. And this prequel is like showing that character that went missing.
Oh, so it was all part of their plan.
You know, it probably was. I'm sure because
I'm
they never
100% sure that was intended.
like they make this huge ass deal about it in the beginning, and then I don't know, it doesn't become like a big thing.
Yeah, like in Final Fantasy 15, like there's like multiple points where characters will just fucking disappear and fuck off, and you'll have no idea. Like they're like, okay, I'm going to go do something. Bye. I'm like,
I'm leaving forever.
Teammate. I gotta do stuff by myself, and then like story will progress, and they'll come back later and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they'll either have like a scar or something will happen. I'm like, "What the fuck?" And then that was all because they were gonna all release all those stories as DLC. So
Sucks.
yeah, I don't know how it's kind of silly.
They make their freaking money. Hey, there's one pet peeve. Stay tuned.
A little sneak peek at our main topic there. Yeah. All right, Caitlyn, give us the next article.
Destiny 2 PC beta restricts certain game capture and voice chat apps. On its website, Bungie explained that in order to prevent cheating, it is resisting any attempts by apps to insert code into the game content.
Client.
Suck my ass, okay? Many capture apps tweak games clients slightly while running into push notifications, capture your game directly, or other such functions. Biggest programs affected will be OBS and XSplit, which are two of the more popular streaming programs. To capture in full screen, Bungie states that you'll have to either use an external capture device or a hardware manufacturer app like NVIDIA, right?
NVIDIA,
Shadowplay, or AMD Relive. You can use OBS and XSplit if you're willing to play in windowed mode.
Sounds good. Actually, it doesn't really sound good now that I think about it.
Yeah,
but
it kind of sucks.
they are trying. The main purpose was to prevent cheating, which is weird. Which I think you stated in the article. But I think that only applies to the beta, at least currently. We'll see what they do going forward. Bungie needs to be careful with this PC port. They have a lot of prospect buyers on PC. I think they already have like 1 million pre-orders for PC alone, which is fucking insane. So they have to be careful with this port. If they screw this up, they're going to just keep pissing off people, and people are going to lose even more.
Like that Batman game, right?
Knight?
Yeah, the one that they released on PC and they royally screwed up for
that was
PC.
a while ago. But yeah, PC sometimes gets the shaft. Even with Dishonored 2, I've heard that it had some issues with performance. And or is it Prey? No, it was Dishonored 2. Dishonored 2 had issues with PC performance. It just wasn't optimized well. So I think...
Oh, and they say PC is Master Race? That's pretty hilarious.
Well, it's only because PC you can run games better and you have mouse and keyboard. I think the problem is that when they develop games to consoles a lot of the time, and then they have to port them to PC. But a easier way to do it would just be to develop for PC and then downgrade for consoles. Because it's much easier.
But they get most of their money from consoles.
Well, they do make a lot of money off of consoles, but they make a lot of money off of PCs.
I really have to poop.
You just whispered that into the microphone.
I'm sorry.
I
really have to
Then go. Then go.
Are you sure?
There's people that listen to this, Caitlyn.
I hope they have to poop too.
Okay.
Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit more about this.
BRB.
Professionalism, yeah. You gotta go. Squeaky door. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I'm sorry, that's all I gotta say. But with Destiny 2, it's odd because it's weird. It's only you and me now, guys. You got any secrets you want to share? You got something you want to share with Papa Kyle here? I'll be happy to not tell anyone. Your secrets are safe with me. That's all I got to say. So, but yeah, it is weird because I can see why, but I could also see like PC. A lot of the times they use things like Discord and other stuff like that because Discord, I've heard, is also going to be affected, and they've used stuff like that to communicate. So why would you restrict that? It's just silly. But again, moving forward, they have to be super careful with this because they do not want to piss off any more people than they already have. You have a dedicated player base, and you can't be taking those people and giving them the shaft. So they have to be very careful. I think it was Dishonored 2. I think I heard a little bit of bad things about Prey until they patched it up a bit. But I 100% agree. I use a console, but I do feel like when they develop for consoles, it does slow down progress because they have to fuck around to get it to a PC port, and it's just annoying. It's much easier to downgrade than it is to upgrade things and allow those other options. So it's much easier to develop for PC first and then make ports for Xbox systems. Again, that's my thoughts as a consumer. I am in no way a game developer. If any of you out there are and you would like to share that with me, let me know because I really I'd like to know. I don't want to be ignorant about this. So yeah, again, let me know in the comments, anywhere, Discord, we're all there. Yeah, just hit us up and call us a bunch of idiots that are stupid. But yeah. So on top of that, Caitlyn has returned.
Yeah, it's
What?
It didn't come out.
Oh my god. So
I washed my face though.
Sip that water. So you got the.
I'm so sorry.
Gonna pull a Tyler.
I'm the person that makes this podcast a professional.
Just for tonight. Sometimes it's Shawn. What the hell? You spilled all over the place.
I'm sorry.
You're a mess.
Just ignore me. Just keep doing. What were you doing? What were you talking about?
Kill like the special kid that sits in the corner of the room with the hat on. Is like, don't bother me, please. I don't know how to talk to strangers.
Constantly like writing on the walls, putting my boogers everywhere. I do that already.
Yeah, like that wouldn't be much of a downgrade.
It's the same person.
Oh my god.
Where are we? What's going on?
We're on Overwatch Summer Games.
Okay.
Get to reading.
Oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
No, I just read.
Oh, you read Destiny. Yeah, you're right. Oh, shit.
you got the long one this time.
All right. So we are joined by Shawn with the power of music editing, video editing.
Kyle.
And what I'll do is I'll go back to the start of the Overwatch Summer Games. But first, I want to find out is how are you, Shawn? How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing well. Thank you very much for asking. How are you two beautiful, fabulous people doing?
Good. You missed our fantastic skit. It was something.
I talked to myself and I teleported different places.
Yeah, she was the anchor and the interviewer.
Yeah, so, you know,
a little bit of
Delightful.
That's how good I am.
A little bit of an instant transmission to the battlefield.
Yeah, that's how good I am.
So,
indeed.
You have anything you want to share with us before I get back into the news?
Cheese. Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Did you say cheese?
Yeah, you said cheese.
Oh, I want some
And
cheese
also
right
penis.
now. Penis. Perfect.
Penis and
Want
cheese?
some of that too?
Did someone
cheese
say-
and penis?
Dude, penis cheese is a thing.
Stop. That's gross. No, that's disgusting.
Oh, man.
Oh my god, is it really?
Yeah, well, it's called smegma, but we're not going to talk
Stop.
about that.
Okay, Overwatch.
All right. So we have Overwatch Summer Games 2017 event will kick off soon with new skins and Lucio Ball. The Summer Games 2017 will run between August 8th and the 29th, and players will be able to get new skins while Lucio Ball map is on the way as well. The skins from the 2016 event are returning for this year's event as well, and they will cost less. Thank goodness. A lot of people weren't able to get those skins originally because the only way to get them was by box. So you had no way of getting them with currency since it was their first event. They were kind of figuring out what they were going to do. After everyone bitched about it, they for the next event they made it where you could actually get them with the currency, which is now the norm.
Bringing the skins back?
Yeah, they are. And they will cost less. So legendary skins will cost 1,000 credits. Epic will be 250, rare 75, and common will be 25. As what the new 2017 event skins being exactly the same as normal. So that's cool. We're getting Lucio Ball back. I really enjoyed Lucio Ball. It was really cool. Basically Rocket League. Yeah, Rocket League with Lucio. So Rocket League with a Rostafon Mon on Skechers. Not Skechers. The fuck on scooters. Scooters? I don't even know what I'm saying. Rollerblades. That's
Jeez,
effectively.
Kyle.
They're futuristic rollerblades. That's what I'm going to call them.
Scooters.
Yeah, scooters. He had 2 big-ass scooters duct taped to his feet. It's kind of what it looks like on some of his skins. Yeah. So
No, it doesn't look like scooters. We like 2 razors, just like. God.
all right.
Just trying to imagine how that would work. You've got one hand on each set of handlebars while you're trying to move your legs in tandem, and you're steering. You're just bent over the whole time. It's like a prison rape session ready to happen.
Whoa. Whoa.
All right. Ken, you want to read the next article?
Just close my window. Polytopia.
Okay. You gonna stop playing your game and join us here on the podcast?
Okay, so monster. Shawn, you want to die?
Oh, damn.
Only by your hand.
Quite a threat.
Only if I get to die too.
We'll die together. Yay!
Yeah.
We'll make a blood pact. Is that what they call
Oh my
it?
god.
But we have to do a Power Rangers pose right before we die.
Dude, I got you.
It's like you do the Power Rangers pose and the explosion happens, but it happens underneath your feet. That'd be majestic.
Are you gonna join in with us now?
No, I take pictures.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, no,
well, put it on display at my funeral.
I want to live.
Oh, do you now? Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, Monster Hunter, X.
Call it Generations.
That's like it's 2 X's and they call it Generations.
Well, that's just its subtitled name. Whoa! Don't give me that look, kid. I'll
Monster
end you.
Hunter Generations gets a demo on Nintendo Switch next week. The Switch version of Monster Hunter Generations is releasing in Japan later this month on August 25th. Before then, players will have an opportunity to try out the title with a free demo that is coming out to the eShop on August 10th. The demo is strictly Japanese, but the console itself remains region-free, allowing any Switch owner to download it.
You know it.
Players looking to get their hands on this demo have to make a new Nintendo account under the appropriate region. The demo will entirely be in Japanese, but it will sample several quests. How are you going to know what you're doing?
You kind of just figure it out.
Really? You know, I got something in the mail that was Chinese. And I thought the same thing. I was like, I'll just figure it out. And guess what? I started bleeding when I used it.
What?
Because I didn't know how to use it.
What is it?
It's like a thing for your face, and it like cleans your face.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's this for?
It melt your skin off?
The fuck?
It kind of, I don't know, it was really rough, and I thought it was for my face. I think it's for your hands.
Speaking about titles that come from the wonderful world of Japan, Shawn, have you seen that thing from Senran Kagura that we were talking about?
Just totally
where like you just all you're doing is massaging the main character the whole game?
Yes. Oh my god.
It's fantastic. I do have it pre-ordered. I don't know how to pre-order it.
If you go from like ecchi samurai warriors to I don't even know what the hell. I get a game based entirely around groping. And here we have like a month ago, 2 months ago, we have a podcast about how we have high hopes for the future of gaming.
Leave it to Japan.
One guy's like, hold on, I got this.
Yeah, leave it to
I'm going to make a game about groping cartoon butts.
That's what it is. That's what it is. They like this one thing where the dude was like, she was like laying down in like track gear or something, and he was like slapping her in her thigh or some shit. It was so fucking weird. But he was just like going ham on that.
We have to buy this for Antony's next birthday. We have to get him a Switch now so he can have his dream game.
Yeah, and they even designed it so like when you're slapping the skin, it provides like the vibrations are supposed to be like realistic.
Oh my god.
Or some shit like
that. This game is going to
the only reason this game could exist is
Caitlyn.
for satirical purposes. I can't even imagine somebody taking that game seriously.
It is.
You know who does?
Antony. Antony's probably going to turn into an esport. It's going to be an
That's why he'll disappear for like a month and we won't know why. And next thing we see him, he'll be married to the game.
There you go.
That may just happen.
Yeah, I could see it coming from Antony. So, but yeah, that's something we got looking forward to. Fuck Mario. We got that coming to the Switch. I don't even give a shit about Mario anymore. I have no idea when that comes out, though, so we're going to wait a bit. And then on to our final article before we move on to our main topic. We do have PS4, Vita, Persona 5, and Persona 3 dancing spin-off games have been confirmed. As Atlas recently announced a slew of Persona games coming in early 2018. They recently uploaded 2 trailers to YouTube showing off the new Persona 5 and Persona 3 rhythm-based dancing games, as well as Persona Q2, which was teased with the Persona 5 logo, giving us hints to what we can expect from the sequel. As well as receiving these new spin-offs, a new Persona 5 anime was announced for early 2018. It's about damn time.
It's going to be so stupid.
I don't think so. I mean,
I'm waiting for that anime. That anime is going to be tight.
Yeah,
it's
going to be
next
super
year,
cool.
Right?
Yeah, it's spring 2018. Which is the same time that the games come out.
If they're going to try and cover the game, or if it's going to be like a parallel story. Because when they did 4, they basically covered the story, and then they went back and did 4 Golden, which was all the additional content from the Golden game, but none of the story from the first. So you kind of had to watch the first and then insert the Golden episodes and play. I don't even understand how it worked because Golden by itself was retarded. It was so bad.
It's confusing.
And it took me forever to figure out that there was huge, just giant, because I tried to watch it first. I was like, oh, I'll watch the updated one. Only there was no plot. It was like, look, we're at the beach. And then we're in the middle of a fight, and then now we're picnicking. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, I could see them just adhering to the main story, basically, and giving us pretty much all of that, and then a little bit stuff in between. We don't know how many episodes it will be. It'll probably be 12. I can see it being 12. But then again, that's never guaranteed. So we really don't have a huge idea onto how it will be. I'm hoping for some sexiness. I don't even know who's producing the anime yet, so I'm just hoping for some sexiness. We'll see what happens down the line. But I
just want to make out episode with Futaba. While me and Boo are sitting here rooting for Makoto to have her own date episode.
Oh, dude!
I'm still waiting for that.
Have you seen the dancing trailer, Shawn?
No, I haven't. I still have the first one, but I haven't played it yet.
It looks cool. I'm excited. It looks like they did a little bit of an up-resing on the models too, probably because that's what you're staring at most of the time. But I'm super excited. The only thing I didn't get to see Futaba. They only had the 4 main characters. Well, I don't really know what to call them main, but they had Anne, Makoto, Joker, and Ryushi. So
you mean Butlet?
Whoa. You can't lie. His Japanese voice
everybody who knows where Butlet came from is part of a fairly exclusive, wonderful club.
That's true.
The D Club.
Yes, the D Club.
Have you shit, what was I gonna say?
I said that
you don't understand
I named my Persona
how
character.
many game profiles on this PlayStation 2 have characters named Butlet. I'm just saying.
Yeah, my Discord name is Butlet as well.
It is indeed.
It's just my whole
and she's
life
got
now.
like a nice little flower there.
Yeah,
That's her picture.
with a little chipmunk on it.
You're sending me mixed signals here. I'm confused.
That's the point.
All right. But yeah, I'm super excited. Spring 2018. I didn't play a lot of Dancing All Night from 4, but they also released another dancing game for 3. So that's cool. So we get to get a game with the characters from 3. Q2 looks cool. I really like the first Q because it was Persona 3 and Persona 4 characters coming together. I think that'd be really cool to see like Persona 5 and Persona 4 characters coming together and those melds and clashes. That'd be pretty cool. And I like the gameplay from Q. It was like a dungeon crawler kind of thing. It was pretty cool. So,
well, to be fair, they do all take place in a cohesive universe. They are all linked. I mean, the stories aren't linked, but all the characters live in the same world.
Yeah, definitely. It's just I don't really. It's weird. I do want to see it though, and I don't have a 3DS anymore, so I might just watch gameplay on it because I'm not going to buy another 3DS. So.
I wonder if they're going to still support the Vita, because Sony's not supporting it anymore, but they still pop games for it every so often. And it's still an extremely solid handheld system.
I have no clue. You could get it for pretty cheap, though, now, can't you? Since it's been, like, dropped.
I think it's still like 150, but I'm not sure.
That's cool. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. It's throwing me off. So that's our news. We've gone through most of that. So moving on to our main topic, we're going to talk a little bit about when it comes to certain genres of games that we played, things that kind of irk us. I say things that can break a game for us, or not even necessarily break, but just something that when we see in a game, it just gives us that little like wince kind of cringe moment. You're like, can we not have this? I'd appreciate that. And we're going to go down the list of genres that I could think of real quick while we talk about it. And just a little thing from each person and then a reason why. And then we'll move through the genres and see basically everyone's little pet peeves when it comes to games. So we're going to start first. We're going to start first with action adventure. So, Legend of Zelda. And I think like Tomb Raider and Uncharted can be considered action adventure as well. Games along those lines. So when it comes,
I'd say action adventure is they put some emphasis on plot. The fighting is put on par with the exploration. It's not all about the combat. And you could definitely put the Uncharted's in there.
Yeah. Ooh, so we're gonna start with that I guess setting, and then we'll move on to some others. So action adventure, I'd say one big thing that I have with it, even though the focus isn't on combat. I don't like that combat sometimes is thrown to the wayside. Now, Uncharted's kind of a unique situation because a lot of that game is just very well done. Even the combat in the later installments is very good, but a lot of the times
throw a shitload of money at it.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, even when it comes like back to Zelda, when it comes to the combat in Zelda, especially the earlier Zeldas, there's not a lot of thinking you're doing. Some enemies have patterns and stuff, but once you learn that, a lot of it is just wait, swing, wait, swing, wait, swing, wait, swing. And then it's pretty much that for most of the fight. And there's not a huge emphasis on like adapting combat. And there are moments where combat is adapted. And I think the Iron Knuckles are I think that's what they're called, the Iron Knuckles. They're a good example of this because they they force you to use the environment. You have to deal with enemies that are very hard to fight. But a lot of the times in Zelda games, if you go back and look back and think about when you were playing Zelda, it's just a lot of it. You walk up, swing your sword, and something falls over. And that applies to a lot of them. Even Breath of the Wild now. Like, I think Breath of the Wild really bad with its combat. There's some mechanics that you can imply, like with the abilities that you acquire and the heavy attacks, but a lot of it is just swing until it falls over. Even when it comes to the boss fights, a lot of the boss fights I found to be disappointing in a way because they're over too quickly. I know that game is just like the definition.
No Zelda boss fights ever been all that long. Even Ganon didn't necessarily take that long.
I know. I don't know. It just felt like the boss fights maybe it's because in Majora's when I played Majora's Mask, the boss fights, since the build up to them and everything kind of being the same theme, reinforced that. I kind of felt like the whole temple was the boss fight in a way, whereas with these other ones, you're going through the temple first, and then there's like a completely different, not themed even towards it might be themed towards the area, but not themed towards, they all look the same pretty much with different abilities. It just kind of felt off when it came to boss fights, at least for Breath of the Wild. I know you haven't played it, Shawn, but that's just kind of like my interpretation of it. And it's definitely an unpopular opinion. That game has been, at least
when I can get the Pro controller, because I just do not want to play it with the gamepad. Like, I'd like to get if I could find the Pro controller on sale for the Wii U, I think I'd enjoy playing a lot. If I have to use a gamepad, I will. I think Zelda's thing was that the boss was just part of the dungeon. It was because you have some enemies that are 2 or 3 stage enemies where you've got to use side items and stuff like that. And then when you have 2 or 3 different types of enemies attacking, you're dodging and bobbing and weaving. But for the most part, the combat's not terribly difficult. It's more or less just like trying to avoid getting hit. And the challenge is in, not getting damaged by traps while you're fighting enemies and managing, your inventory and stuff like that. But it's always been more about kind of making your way through the puzzles and whatnot. I think I had more fun. I like the dungeons in Twilight Princess, I think, best out of all of the games. I like the ones in Wind Waker. I thought those were really good. And they kind of did but they carried that same kind of ingenuity from Wind Waker in a Twilight Princess, and then Twilight Princess just added on it. So I think I would probably go with my favorite dungeons would definitely be Twilight Princess out of all of them. But it always seemed to me like the bosses weren't really the main event. It was more like just a bigger standard enemy that you kind of had to make through. So I think you had said that at one point in time or another that the dungeons are more like an extension of the boss. Like the boss is more part of the dungeon experience and like a standalone thing to remember, so to speak.
Yeah.
At one point, I think we had that discussion once. I tend to agree with you on that. But I don't think that's ever been the priority of the series.
Yeah, no, I feel you. What about you, Caitlyn? When it comes to, since you played mostly just Zelda games, when it comes to like that genre, is there something that like ticks you off when it comes to a Zelda game? Or something like that, where it's like action adventure, not exactly an open world, but a large world for you to kind of roam around and explore and do stuff like that?
The lack of direction.
Okay, lack of direction.
I can't stand that. It drives me crazy.
So, well, you haven't played Breath of the Wild, but I could see that ticking you off in Breath of the Wild. So you don't like when...
I like it when it like tells me what to do. Like I like that because I can drop the game for a while, and I'll come back and like I won't know what to do. Like when I played Wind Waker, I played it in like a week, and I played it all the way through, and I knew what I was doing for the first time. And I played it again, and then I had to drop it for something. I was doing something, and I came back and I didn't know what I was doing anymore. Like I get lost because.
Oh yeah, well, Wind Waker was pretty bad about that sometimes.
But a lot of the Zelda games are like that. Like I can drop it and then come back to it, and I'll be like, "What the hell was I doing again?" It's like Pokemon does the same thing. Where like obviously it's Pokemon. I know that's a stupid thing, but like I was playing what's the newest one?
Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon. I was playing Moon for a while, and then school started, so I just stopped playing it. And I came back to it, and I was like, "What was I doing?" Because like I tend to take breaks from games because for one reason or another, like I haven't finished Persona yet, even though I was so far into it. I have this thing.
You monster.
Yeah, I have this thing where I don't like to finish things too quickly. So like with Persona, I got to the end like really fast, so I wanted to slow it down for a bit, so I stopped playing it for a while. And I can guarantee you if I go back to Persona, I'll know exactly what I'm doing, even though I haven't been playing it for like a month. But when I went back to like Pokemon or Wind Waker, I didn't know. I forgot what I was doing completely. I'm going to have to like write it down on my phone or something because I forget. So I like direction in games. And I have that problem with a lot of games where I forget what I'm doing a lot.
Okay. Now, I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild has no direction when it comes to its gameplay because they tell you straight up you need to do this to beat the game. So, like, you'll unlock the ability. It will show you where every single dungeon is. You'll walk over there, complete it, and then you're like, oh, now I got to kill Ganon, and the game's over. The idea behind the game is it gives you the freedom to not do that. So what do you think about that, Caitlyn? If they tell you what to do or what you can do, but they give you the freedom to roam and find other things to do in the world, is that something that you wouldn't seek out in a game? So say, okay, like Breath of the Wild, because this is a good example of it. You're given a main quest line, a main path that you have to take in order to beat the game. But there's a huge world for you to explore and find things. Would you seek out those things even though the direction is not there because you have to get them first?
No.
So you just wouldn't do it?
No.
I can understand.
I have the same problem with Nier.
Well, I don't know.
Nier
think Nier is open at all. But I mean, I guess kinda.
I always have trouble finding my direction in Nier. Same with like Wind Waker or whatever. It's only because it's the type of person I am, which I drop games a lot. I don't just drop them forever, but I drop them for a while.
Uh-huh.
So that's just the type of person I am. So if I go back to it and I don't know what I'm doing, it really ticks me off because I spent a lot of time in this game, and then all of a sudden, like I'm like, what was going on again?
Yeah, one of our friends, Perry, like if he leaves and comes back to a game later, straight up he'll restart because he has no idea what's going on.
See, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so.
Perry's
me.
notoriously bad about it. He's notoriously bad. He'll get 3/4 of the way through a game and then stop and then pick something else up and then come back to it a year later and get all pissed off and start over.
Because like
it's happened to him like
what's
3
going
times.
on. Like
Yeah, no,
there
I
was
understand
a Pokemon game that did it perfectly.
game.
Like you would open it and it would have a journal of what you were doing last time you were there.
That was the remake.
Which one was that? No, that
was Fire Red that did that.
No, there's a more recent one that did that because I have it on the DS.
Diamond and Pearl.
Yes,
I think Diamond and Pearl did that.
Like that was so perfect. Like I would open it up and I would know exactly what I was doing and how I was doing it, whatever. But if you get through 4 1/4 in the game and then you don't play it for a few months and then you come back to it and you're like, what's going on? Like that shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, you know how they have those previously on?
Yeah.
For TV shows?
Yeah.
They need to have that for games because it drives me absolutely insane when I don't know what I'm doing.
But you have that in a quest log. Usually when now this doesn't sit in every action RPG or action adventure game. It's more akin to RPGs that you'd have a quest log, but that's usually what that's for.
Like Dishonored. They did it pretty good.
Well, Dishonored was a perfectly linear game though.
Yeah, well, whatever. But if you drop the game before every mission, they have a description of what's
like
going how on. You're in the story.
Yeah.
So they tell you
some games have a cutscene that loads while you're waiting for your game to play that shows what's come before.
Yeah, but she's saying like if she were to return to a game maybe after seeing that.
No, I agree with her. I think it'd be nice if they did the thing like they do in MMOs where you've got a list of every active quest you've picked up, where it is, where on the map it is, and a little bit of the story bit that goes along with it. I think I'd agree with her. That'd be awesome. Because I have so many games that I'll play 3 or 4 at a time and forget to play one for a while, then I'll go back to it. I'm like, shit, what was I doing? Wait a minute, and then you don't know which of the subquests you were doing or which of the heart pieces you've got or don't have. Like, it'd be nice if there's like little things like that, or every time you got a heart piece, it put a check mark on the map where you picked it up. So you know, all right, well, at least I don't have that one. But I don't think most of the games, if they do that, they don't do it to any great degree unless you're playing an MMO.
I think a good way of doing it would be kind of like what Persona 5 does, is it provides you a journal that explains exactly where you are.
Well, Persona 5 is also pretty linear.
Yeah, it is. You're spending the path.
I think the best RPGs are 60 to 70% linear, if not more so.
Yeah.
Up until a certain point.
I love linear. Linear is my middle name.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a final hallway. Granted, if you're going to tell the classic thing is if you're going to have a tight narrative, which means you're going to have a very well told story, it's going to move you in a specific direction. There'll be side quests. There'll be times when you can break off the beaten path and go and pick up, hidden characters and this, that, the other. But
what was that?
In a specific direction. Huh?
I heard screaming. Is your house haunted?
No, I didn't hear. No, there was no screaming.
I heard a scream.
That was weird.
Someone's trapped in Discord trying to break.
Yeah, there was no screaming, I promise.
A game that did that really well, where it was linear, but it had its own side quest, was
I think
Zero Dawn. That's what I was thinking.
Horizon?
Yeah, I played that. I played that in a very small amount of time. But again, I haven't finished that game. Because, I'm a horrible
Final Fantasy 7 did it really well. Final Fantasy 6 did it well. 8 did it well. 9 did it 10 did it well. I don't think 13's story got a little wobbly after the first one. And it really was, when they call it Final Hallway, it's that first one, for the most part, you're actually running down a corridor. You're going in one direction at all times for... I'd say a good 75-80% of the game until you get down to the planet, and then you can wander around. But when you get to the planet, you wander in the wrong damn direction. It's like playing an old school MMO. You round a corner and something just flattens you. Like Final Fantasy 12 is like that, which is cool. I don't mind that either. But I think everybody, when they finally got down to the planet in 13, they're like, "Yay, I can do anything I want to." And that was right about the time I was like, "Yay, I can do anything I yawn." And then I just played something else and forgot about it. And I still haven't gone back to finish 13. And from what I heard, the plot just goes bananas, but that's another thing entirely.
Bananas!
No, I agree with you. It does suck coming back to a game and not knowing where you are and having nothing to kind of put you back on track. It's like the same thing with animes. You watch half the anime, and then if you get pulled away from it and you want to go back to it, you have to start over.
I've never
done that with anime.
I've seen.
I don't know. It's a different.
Well, a lot of the
time story with TV shows.
They implement that too in anime because a lot of times they'll show what happened the last 10 or not 10 because 10's half the show, but the last couple minutes of the anime will be played again in the next episode. So they give you an idea of where you're at, a little refresher in the story. I never had that happen with that. Damn, Ken, we need to watch Boku no Hero 31.
Dude, we just.
They also do that in Japan because sometimes you'll have a month between episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they play an episode a day. Some series play an episode a week, most of them. But there are some that I've watched that are OVA style where there's only 5-6 episodes. Or they'll have 12 episodes a year, and they'll play one a month. So they have to have that little weird, in last episode, how dare you, Vegeta? That kind of shit.
What the fuck was that?
Playing with little boys in spandex, I see.
Yes. I fucking love that. Dragon Ball PP.
What
For all you who
classic.
don't know, that's the best shit right there.
Dragon's Ball.
We should have a Broadway reenaction right here of the whole first episode.
I'll do it. I will do it in a heartbeat.
That's that. I don't know how close that comes to infringing on copyright, so we're not going to touch that. So that's action adventure. That's a good point. I definitely agree, and I understand that you need to have at least some form of direction, because that also helps you stay invested, and it gives them a little bit more control over set pieces when it comes to that as well. So
Yes.
you're not just randomly running, and that's like it same way when you're trying to tell a story. You don't tell an open-ended story because you're confusing your reader. You're trying to keep them invested, so you have to keep them moving from point A to point B, or they will lose interest if you're focusing the same reason fucking Naruto with 100 fucking filler episodes. So people lose interest. I know so many people that just stopped watching Naruto because there's 100 filler episodes. That's insane. That's 2 years of filler. That's crazy.
Oh, that's true.
Well, filler's not always a bad thing.
But
Some of the best episodes in some of the series I watched were filler.
It depends, though,
Yeah, heavily.
who they're
It
focusing
just
on.
filler doesn't do anything to move the plot around, like
Because it's not
some
just,
shows. Well, and to be fair, some of the Shippuden episodes, they got input from the author, and they use those episodes to flesh out characters and backstories and shit that weren't in the manga.
That's
And you could almost consider those canon.
well, yeah, they would be not in a dictionary standpoint, but in a technical, because they're coming from the author. It's something that he has A-okayed. A lot of filler is something that's presented by the animation company or whoever the studio's working behind it, so that they can either make time for the manga to catch up, or if they need to do something to the story that just isn't canonical. You see it a lot. Like
It's kind of a
80% of
catch-22.
fucking.
Do you wait until the manga's done so you have all the time in the world, or do you hit it while the manga is popular? Because by the time a manga wraps up, like Bleach and shit, their popularity had dwindled massively.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
they ran the series way beyond what, because it just kept going, and it just people weren't reading it; they were reading new stuff.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It is like a rock and a hard place, but I'd say it's definitely possible, because you just have to be in close communications with the author and get an idea of where they want it to go, because a good anime can sell manga. So I don't see the author having any issue with presenting spoilers in an anime, because then a lot of times good anime will sell manga. People will go back and buy the manga to see how they differ.
Though,
Most of the time it's the manga
about the author.
It depends. It really depends on the studio. Because they're trying to make money too.
The whole authors who sit there and take hiatuses every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the guy, or like the Hunter x Hunter guy, or fucking Berserk, or I could name like 6 mangakas right now who are on my shit list.
Hiatuses
Which
too.
one is that?
That's the boxing one. It's really good.
Well, dude, Ippo's been running for like 100 years. I get that, dude. Give the fucker a vacation. But I mean, when you produce anywhere between 1 to 10 chapters a year, and there's no telling, it gets a little ridiculous. And there's like 4 or 5 really popular IPs in Japan where you never fucking know. Especially Hunter x Hunter is just maddening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's rough. It's definitely rough. So let's get a little bit back on the subject here. Do a little bit of policing. Let's move on to let's see. I'm gonna do. What do you guys want to talk about next? Genres? Do we have any genres that we could bring? We got first-person shooter.
What I get annoyed by in adventure action games is wasteful bullshit, dumb, like just idiot quest things. Like, I need this bucket of water. Could you get me a bucket of water? And then you run to the fucking
a lot of those stupid quests adhere to like the either action RPG or JRPG genre. So we could go into RPGs if you want to talk about that, but that's not really action adventure all the time either. Sometimes I
don't really have a problem with action adventure games. Most of them I'm fine with. Oh, you know what? Here we go. Here's my beef with action adventure games. When they get the pacing off. No, just when they get the pacing off. Pacing's a big deal. And when you have long stretches where nothing's happening, like if you got to crisscross like Hyrule Field like 12 times to do a one quest or one story thing, it's annoying. Even when you have a pony, you're just sitting there. Like, I can't tell you how many times I just pushed the stick in a direction and finished a conversation. Turn back around to find myself running into a fucking wall near wherever I was trying to go. Like, it gets a little annoying. Like, the pacing things, and when they get shitty music that doesn't fit the whatever it is that you're doing. But for the most part, when I'm playing an action adventure game, those games are usually fairly well balanced. When you're talking about the Zelda type games, I think it's the crisscrossing that gets a little bit annoying. But there's only so much you can do about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be a cool topic for the future. How music affects like media, like just how a strong soundtrack or strong like orchestrated anything can create that like deep hitting moment. That'd be a cool thing for the future. That takes actual research. There's normally these topics we don't actually research for. We just talk about our shit.
You have first-hand experience.
Oh shit! There you go.
Shit.
So that'd be a cool topic though for the future, because that applies to all forms of media. So that'd be interesting for everybody instead of just people that whatever.
In general, microtransactions. I fucking hate microtransactions.
Okay.
I hate you making me pay for something that's already on the disc. In general, I hate that. I hate it when the culture of the game becomes around pay to win.
Okay.
That's ridiculously annoying.
Yeah, I could see it becoming, because there's two forms. You have free to play microtransactions, and you have microtransactions for a game that's already out, such as loot box systems. Call of Duty's a huge fucking villain when it comes to this, because they not only did they hide in cosmetics, I don't have a problem with. We talked about this on the after hour. If you have cosmetics in a loot box system, that's fine with me. It does not make you better than another person. There's nothing that will change the gameplay experience for both sides. But the moment Call of Duty started putting guns in their loot boxes, so they have guns that provide a different experience hidden away in an RNG system that you have to pay for, that's fucked. And I hate that shit. That is villainous in my eyes, because you could just see how much of a cash grab it is. Like, give us your money. But that's been Call of Duty forever with their 8 fucking DLCs, which are just redesigned maps half the time. We won't
Agreed.
Go down that road, but I think that's fucking villainous.
I get buying. I still think they should give you the maps for free. Personally,
What?
I like the cosmetic bits.
Yeah, no, I
think cosmetics are nice, but I don't think you should, like, if it's a free game, I guess it's different. Like with Fortnite, if you buy the loot things, you have a chance of really getting ahead on the competition, because you can get a legendary or whatever kind of weapon or defender or this, that, the other. But that's a free to play game. They're giving you the game for free anyway. So, and in my eyes, if you spend, like, just hypothetically speaking, because I'm not going to fucking do this, I already spent enough on it, but if I got Fortnite for free, spending $60 on boxes to get stuff for the game, that's not so bad, because you got the game for free.
Yeah, no,
I mean, it's still playable in its entirety without doing that. It's just going to take you longer. Or like Warframe, like Warframe, you can buy frames, and you can it's a slog to get more frames, to get the pieces and put everything together and get all the stuff, and it's definitely a grind. So them selling frames, I don't really have a super problem with, especially considering supposedly they're taking all that money and using it to really expand on the concept of the game late into its life cycle, which is kind of cool. Like, supposedly they're doing that open world thing. So
yeah,
but I think in general, I think microtransactions are abused like a good 50% of the time.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do agree with you. I like the free to play model, because it's kind of like almost like a humble bundle in a way, because you're given a game and you pay for the amount of enjoyment that you're experiencing, and the more you pay, the more enjoyment you'll have. Well, it obviously will cap out at a point, but so Perry said it before to us, like, he played this game, he got a $30 to $40 amount of enjoyment out of the game, so he felt like that money spent on the game was worth it, because that's what he felt, because again, you're getting the game for free, exactly like you've said. I have no problem with that, really, and especially since a lot of those games they usually tend to be cooperative, although they do have PvP elements. I can see kind of the pros and cons. But Call of Duty's villainous, Activision's villainous. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to go too far down the road on that when it comes to those microtransactions, because I find that just stupid. I think with Overwatch's method, there's nothing preventing you from enjoying the full game. You have the full game at get-go, future characters, future maps, future game modes, all free. You never have to pay for it. But they make so much fucking money off of their loot boxes because the love and the time that they put in these characters allows people to become attached to them. So when you see a new skin come out for Mercy, your favorite character, you're like, I need that because Mercy's my favorite character. I want to show off these skins. I have no problem with that at all, because I think that's done tastefully, and you can see everyone else sees it's done tastefully because they make a fuckload of money out of that. We were talking earlier, Ken, how much money did they make on digital net revenue? It was like $1.6 billion in the past year.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Fucking insane amounts of money.
Is that counting game sales?
That's counting anything digital. So digital game sales and any digital net revenue that they've made. So transactions over the digital store, basically.
And they put that thing on sale a lot too, because when I bought it, it was $30.
Yeah, no, they definitely can. They're just trying to get as many people in their game as possible, because they know that on top of because a huge percentage of the money that they have made have been on these loot boxes. Especially, you look on YouTube, every time a new event starts, you got people buying 110 boxes. You could find 30 YouTube videos of people buying 110 boxes. So it's like $110, $120. That's insane. And you have hundreds of people doing this every time they do an event. They know that they're in a good spot, and they're going to keep squeezing it, and they're going to do it in a tasteful way because they know
You and I are guilty.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier.
Probably put $200 into Overwatch. I've put close to 200 into Warframe. I put 165 into Fortnite. I probably put about 100 into Final Fantasy 14.
Well, does that count your subscription fee as well?
Oh no, shit.
Jesus.
So,
Dude.
260 maybe.
Damn. Only thing I
but
bought.
The thing is I used to refuse to spend money on a game ever for anything.
Here we are.
Unless it was story content. And to this point, I think that if you're going to get story content, it should be included in the game when you buy the game, unless they come up with something. If it's not planned for, if they're not sitting there going, all right, well, we're going to give them half the story, like that Castlevania, the Lords of Shadow thing. They gave you 90% of the story and then held off on 10% of it and released it as DLC. That is bullshit. But if you give somebody the complete experience and then go, you know what? Let's do a backstory for this character. We'll release like an episode. And they just decide to fucking do that. And they release like 3-4 episodes. You get the whole game, but they know they're going to be doing more content. You get a whole story, and they just give you more. That I'm okay with. But locking stuff behind a paywall and, like you said, giving people advantages, letting them buy advantages, that's something where I only think that's acceptable with a free-to-play game. And even then, I hate that stupid thing they do, like with cell phone games, where you're in like an hour and a half's worth of tutorials that keeps taking you back to the store. Even though you don't have to use the store, it always goes back to the store. And then it has you buy something for free. But hey, this is the store. Hey, look, this is where you buy stuff. And then you're playing the game. Then it kicks you back to the store again. There's almost no game you can just start playing and not be in a tutorial like an hour later, still fucking sitting there reading through the damn tutorial and all these submenus within submenus within submenus. And it's all designed to force you to go through certain steps that'll take you back to the store. That shit's fucking annoying. And now they're starting to do it on the home systems.
It's like, hey,
I don't remember what game we were playing, Kyle, but I remember there was one game that had menus within menus within menus, just like a cell phone.
Hey.
Made me want to put my head through a window. What?
Hey, you there? You want to buy our $99 rupee pack?
Oh, God. Hey!
What about our $40
over
starter
here!
pack?
Look!
If you buy our $40 starter pack right now, you'll get these 3 extra things.
Yeah, and it's 5% off.
Super dumb.
5%.
No, I feel you. That was Fortnite you were referring to when we talked about it. Because Fortnite is got a hectic UI, to say the least. It's fucking annoying sometimes, having to move through all those menus.
The gameplay is really solid, which I am surprised by. I was expecting it to be much worse. I do very much enjoy playing that with you guys, but it's definitely... I put that in the same category as I put Warframe, where it's something where you can get hardcore with it, but it still feels very casual.
All they got to do is fucking fix it. So if I'm playing on my PS4, I could use a keyboard and my cursor will be there, and I'll be a happy man, because it's 1,000 times easier to navigate through all those menus with the mouse, because they were designed for that. They weren't designed for you to thumb through with a fucking D-pad for 30 minutes. It's a lot quicker with a mouse. And then for that, you could say PC Master Race. I just shook the entire table like a doofus, so I hope that didn't get picked up on the microphone. So we talked a little bit about...
What about RPGs? What about standard, old school? I mean, not old school, but any RPGs from Final Fantasy to Skyrim, you know? Any of those, like, what are your cons?
I know a lot of people, when they refer to RPG, they see grinding as a con, but I don't really have any issue with grinding. But besides, I can't really think of something that
it should be optional. It shouldn't be a mandatory mechanic.
Yeah, I guess, but I see the reasoning behind both retro and newer games. It's how they lengthen the game, so you're playing it for longer.
That was the old ones.
And I don't think just the word grind technically means it has to be like uninspired and not fun. They could make grinding interesting. I don't think that. Oh, no, we have confirmation of the poop. So that's good. What do you mean don't say it? You're the one that whispered in the microphone earlier. And now she's going outside. Noisy.
Because everybody poops.
Indeed. And
girls
do poop. All you out there that did not believe that, it is confirmed.
It's a little bit REM retro
on the Thought Patrol.
For you guys.
The Thought Patrol podcast. Girls do in fact poop. Contact NASA. It is confirmed. I don't know, because I think
I'll have a video on YouTube later.
Yeah. Oh God. The whole point of the grind. I don't think if you make it where it's not optional, it defeats the purpose of the grind. But I could see, because I think the RPG nature in itself isn't a casual type of game. They're usually not casual games. I mean, they've made them casual with the action RPG market, and they've made them less grindy and stuff like that. But when it comes down to like a grindy JRPG, they're not ever. I don't think anyone sees them as technically casual games. They're more seen as something that you're coming into this is going to be a commitment. You're going to be here a while. You're going to get connected to these characters. You're going to be playing this game for a while. So
I like
buckle
grinding.
in. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and they have technically done that with action RPGs. They've removed a portion of that feature. It's still kind of there, but it's nowhere near as expansive as it sits on like JRPGs and stuff like that. And I have no problem with it.
They don't have memory limits like they used to with a more traditional styled game like that. You don't have the memory limits, so now they play through it and they change the difficulty according to pacing. You know, like when I played Final Fantasy X, I played it old school. So I would sit in an area and I'd run through, and of course I have to explore every corner. And when you're doing that, you're constantly getting into combat. So by the time I got to the end of the game, Sin was a cakewalk. I had no problems taking care of Sin and Yevon. It was easy. You know, like I had no problems with it whatsoever. It was way too easy because I ground it out in some of the hardest areas. I kept going even when you'd open a chest and just get a freaking herb or something, I was still doing it. And I would insist on getting all the weapons, which again involved going after certain areas and trying to accomplish certain things. So when you try and complete the game, you're going to grind automatically just doing that. But I think for anybody who just followed the plot and didn't try and find every little corner, it might have been more of a difficult thing. But I've just grind by the nature of how I play video games. Ever since I first played my first RPG, which I think was Dragon Warrior, which at the time we didn't know it was Dragon Quest. I played Dragon Warrior 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I played Final Fantasy 2, and Final Fantasy 3, which was 6. Which I think, yeah. I don't remember which Final Fantasy 2 was. I think that was like Final Fantasy 4 or something like that. But I played those two, and then by the time I got to 7, I was adept at every corner, every secondary room, opening every chest. Grinding was just part of the nature. But now games are made so that you don't necessarily have to do that. They're paced in such a way that it's not as necessary.
Yeah,
especially in MMOs. But
yeah, even looking at like Persona 5, like you could get through a portion of that, and a lot of the time you can overcome things by grinding. But like I was listening to this dude, I don't remember his name, but he works for the Escapist magazine and he makes YouTube videos. They're like really short. I think it's called Zero Punctuation, and he was talking about Persona 5, and every time he had issue with a boss or whatever, he dropped the difficulty down a notch. And then he was like good. Whereas
sounds like me.
Yeah, with like other like more hardcore games, a lot of it is like if you do have a problem, get to grinding. You can eventually overcome this problem once you get some levels under your belt. And you could see that, and that exists in Persona if you want to shoot for it, but they do give you the option to just play through the story, enjoy the story, and be on with your day. I played on hard. I got my shit kicked in a lot of times. I lost a lot of hours from dying and having to revert back to saves, but eventually I got through. I had times where I had to sit there and grind levels and do other things like that just to get through certain areas, and some of the palaces were a pain in the ass for me, and their bosses were fucking hard. Like I had times where if I was not running constant buffs and debuffs, my team would die close to instantly. But again, that was my choice. I could have easily dropped it a lower difficulty and had no penalty whatsoever. I really wish they had like a merciless trophy, because that would have been, because this is one dude, I listened to his podcast, the It's Obvious Gaming Community, their podcast, and his name is Preston, and he goes for every platinum. He has like 40-something, 50-something platinums, and he got the platinum for Persona 5. I wanted to see him struggle to get that merciless completion, because you could technically play through the entire game on easy and you could still get the platinum, and I felt that was kind of weird. Talking about trophies, this is a pet peeve just because they exist. I like them because I like them, but because they're there, it gives me intense OCD if I do not have, like, every day in the back of my mind I know I have yet to platinum Persona 5, and it kind of eats away at me, and I hate that feeling, but I like the feeling that I have platinumed a game. You kind of get what I'm saying? It's like a double-edged sword, and I really, that's why I like the Switch. When I was playing Breath of the Wild, I knew I don't have to worry about trophies. I could just sit here and enjoy this game. But when I'm playing a game with trophies, it ends up me playing the game normally the first time, just enjoying it, and then I go back a second time for that like hard hitting run through where I do as many trophies as possible, get all that shit out of the way. And with Persona, the Persona games are difficult with that stuff. There's a lot of things that I think every single trophy is missable. Well, besides like 8, which are the story-based trophies, but every other trophy in the game is missable. You can miss it entirely on a run-through. So that's kind of a pet peeve, but that's something super small because I still do it anyway. It's not enough to deter me from playing. It's just the fact that them looming in the back of my mind that they're there is just something I have to get over as a person. It's my struggle.
I knew trophies would drive me crazy, so I just never gave a shit about them.
Yeah, I chose to give a shit. I chose to give a shit, and now I'm stuck in this loop, this never-ending cycle.
Good job.
Again, it's really.
What about
small.
you, Caitlyn? How many RPGs have you played?
None besides Persona. Persona was her first.
Well,
Isn't Skyrim?
Did you have any?
Yes, Skyrim.
Yeah, I played Skyrim when it first came out. I really like Skyrim. Don't do that.
You like Fallout? I think Fallout's much better than Skyrim.
I love.
Okay. Do you have
Fallout.
any issues with Fallout as a game?
None at all.
No pet peeves. Nothing. A pet peeve isn't necessarily an issue. It's just something that kind of irks at you. Something in that game type or that gameplay, Skyrim, Fallout, the Bethesda RPGs.
Preston.
Huh?
Preston. Saying another
Oh,
settlement.
from Fallout 4?
Another settlement needs your
Another
help.
settlement needs your help. That's it?
I love Fallout.
there's nothing-
I am
nothing-
such a Fallout fan.
Okay.
That nothing in that game makes me angry. Because
No.
I'm just like, oh, that kind of sucks. But I love it anyway. I don't know. I just love Fallout.
What's something that would tell you, like, oh, that kind of sucks?
Preston.
Oh, okay.
On my ass.
Right. Okay. But so you enjoy everything about... Okay.
Yeah, I haven't played many of...
Well, that question went no.
Yeah, it did go nowhere really
What
quickly.
did you not like about Fallout? I love Fallout. It makes me delighted.
Well, he asked... I don't know. He asked me about Fallout.
I'm just-
I
I'm
don't
just
have
wondering.
I don't have a problem with Fallout. I didn't
It's
have
okay.
So it's a perfect game 10 out of 10.
For me, it
I had
is.
no
Yeah.
complaints about any Final Fantasy up until I hit 12. Well, 10-2 was a little weak,
anything-
but I didn't dislike it. It just didn't have as much substance to it. But 12 I didn't like because it eschewed the active time
How'd we get to
combat
this?
where everybody had different speeds at which they would attack. Like 12, you had something quasi similar to 15 where the characters would do shit on their own, but you could jump between different ones and control them and kind of. And at first I didn't like it, and then I got into it, and it's just a different layer of strategy because while the other guys are doing whatever you program to do with the Gambit system, which is their AI, and the more experience you get and the more shops you hit, the more Gambits you have, the more you can program their AI and how they behave. And at first it's difficult, and I've got the updated version. I haven't popped it in yet because that's on the list. Persona's got to be played first.
Better
But,
be. It's only been like
the Gambit
fucking
system,
4 months.
Eventually you get used to it. But what I like is you can hit a button, it immediately stops all combat. You can jump to another character and then continue with that character, use their abilities, and you can jump around. And it takes some practice, but eventually I got used to it. And 12 was a unique specimen. It was almost like a spinoff because it was the flavor was Final Fantasy, but everything else was very different. It wasn't high fantasy. It didn't have high magic. It didn't have a lot of that kind of like the world's going to be destroyed. It's us versus fate kind of thing. You weren't fighting gods. It was simply there were two perspectives in the game. You happen to be on one side. Here's the other side. And whereas the other guy is kind of a tyrant and he's a bit on the crazy side and he's also trying to do what he feels is right, and it was more two political sides, and you just happen to be on one side, and you're playing from that perspective. But if they could have easily started you on the other team and had a similar experience.
Yeah.
So that was what made that very, very different from any other Final Fantasy. And as a matter of fact, 15 kind of does that, where it's very political. It's this country versus that country. But then they pull out this like guy who's a million years old that you're related to, and there's all these mysteries that because the shitty fucking story and them fucking it up and rebuilding.
You
it
gotta even
17
finish
times.
the game. The story's not that bad.
You know what annoyed me
Okay.
in Fallout?
What annoyed you in Fallout? We have confirmation of
Yes,
a
we have
pet
to know.
peeve.
Having to keep up with your settlements. And like
Well, you don't
having
have to.
There we go. All right.
Well-
Having to keep up with settlement.
So
Yeah, but then you get
that is a
what?
little annoying.
So micromanagement.
Yeah, like it was always like, oh, you can improve this settlement, and then they're the things. What's it called? Like
I could say with.
I wasn't finished.
Oh my gosh! I'm trying to add to your statement. I could agree with you.
I wasn't finished.
Let me finish. I could
Can
agree
I
with you.
finish?
Wait, I'm trying to give you food for thought here, so you're not just sitting here stumbling over your words like a fucking idiot. You heard me.
Okay, so I wasn't. You were very rude to me just now,
Look who's talking.
and you're still not letting me finish.
Go
my
ahead,
review.
talk.
No. Since you called me a
Stumble
fucking
over
idiot,
your
and I'm
words,
stumbling over my words.
woman.
Go.
Okay. The micromanagement, and then the resource management, right? Where like everywhere you go, they're like, "Oh, improve this place," but you never had anything on you to improve it with, because everything's back at Sanctuary.
No, I was talking about. See, if you let me finish, you'd know, and we wouldn't be here right now.
Uh huh.
Yeah. So it.
Keep talking. I'm gonna mute your microphone.
Do it, bitch. Try me. It's like when you do this thing where you put stuff everywhere. What's that called?
Do the thing where you put stuff
Like-
everywhere.
Put stuff
See-
everywhere.
See, if you you let me give you food for thought, we wouldn't be here right now.
Well, you didn't. You weren't describing.
Continue. Finish your
What's it
well
called?
put together sentence,
What's it
my
ca-
beautiful sister.
What's it called when you put stuff like?
The construction.
Yes. The construction was ass. Like it was so bad.
It's like a kindergartner word.
Yeah. Suck my ass. Okay. It was so
I believe
bad.
in you, boo.
It's the last episode. The podcast is breaking up.
Shut up.
All over this small rebuttal. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
Are you done?
I'm done. Yeah.
So you didn't like the construction? You didn't like how it was made, right?
It was just so bad. Like the way that you put stuff
I
down.
felt like it was a tacked on mechanic. The game could have survived without it, and it wouldn't have been any less.
True. Yeah.
I thought
people
it-
barely used it.
I thought it added a whole new level of like immersion. The fact that you could build your own city up. Like I went ham on that shit, and my sanctuary looked like a little city, and it was so cool coming back, seeing the lights. Well, you're fast traveling, never mind. But
You tried.
being able at night to see all the lights on and people actually wandering around, it builds that immersion. I feel, although it was not very well developed because the snap was kind of shit, and the way you put everything together was kind of shit. But if
They still haven't fixed it.
if you do,
Yeah. No.
if you go through it and and you mess with it enough to get it working and messing around with things, it's you could make some cool places. I felt like I had somewhat of like what they had in what's that one city, Cam, where they had all the people there. What was it called? Diamond
baseball?
something?
Diamond.
It was Diamond something.
Diamond Dogs.
No.
Diamond in the rough.
You know what I'm talking
In the
about, right?
baseball field.
Yeah, it's like in a baseball field.
Diamond
and
Dust.
it felt
it.
like something like that.
Viva.
Oh my god, shut up. It felt like something like that. And I feel like it added immersion. Again, I'm not saying it was well developed because it was kind of shit trying to put stuff together, but taking the time to actually do it, and I sat there for like days building this place up, dealing with power levels, dealing with having enough food for everybody, getting as many people as I can in there. The only thing I didn't like is the fact that there was a limit to how much stuff you can have down. I can understand that they're trying to make it so frames don't drop when you move around, so you're not the moment you fast travel into your city, you're running at like 10 frames because you have way too much shit there. So I can understand that, but that does kind of suck, and that's just something that comes with being PS4.
Like, it's
Okay,
good-
but
it's good
Fallout, what
progress.
about that jumping animation? Come on, people.
What? Oh, I played in first person. I don't know what we're talking about here.
Oh, God. You have
I
to take it
also
out of
played-
first person
I
and
also
watch
played
that jumping animation. It is painfully awkward.
I'm sure.
It's just like 3 animation movements. That's all it is. It's click, 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 and you land.
We're talking about 4 or 5, or 4 or 3.
4.
Oh.
4. It's so bad. It's
Yeah, I don't-
so bad. I don't think it's like they designed it as an afterthought, and then nobody went into third person to check it to see what it looked like.
The problem I had is if you ever try to do anything in third person, it's cool to see your character and see the armor you have on them and shit. But on top of that, like if you're in a building or a tight space, it's almost impossible to pick shit up off of shelves. Like I'm trying to pick stuff up and my character's model is like blocking everything. I'm like, you fat fuck, get out the way. And then I have to switch back into first. I like how easy it was to switch in between the two modes. So you can walk around. All you gotta do is touch the touchpad. And there you go. Boom, you're third person. I thought that was cool. But
Fallout was also
Okay.
really good with doing the whole thing where you could pick it up and you'd know what you're doing. Because they have the quests.
oh well,
and
yeah.
they have
That's
like a really-
RPGs are better with that.
I think my biggest complaint with RPGs is probably the pacing of the story. If you're playing a really good RPG, everything that you need to do somehow needs to fit within the confines of the story and the universe. And every now and then, when they just get lazy and they're like, I lost my dog. Can you find my dog? And then you like, what the fuck, dude? I'm sitting here trying to save the world. Why did you put a fetch quest for a dog?
True.
Like, there's the boss's castle right there, and you've got me. And the thing is none of the dialogue choices, none of the conversations that happen recognize that you're about to go into certain doom. All of a sudden, when you side quest, they just forget where you are in the game. Like, that part, in a really well-designed game, the dialogue choices will change depending on where you are and what you're doing. But in some of the old ones, like you're about to go and face Kefka, you go back to a city that you started at and they're still doing the dialogue like, gosh, it's really pretty out. Meanwhile, like you're in the, the wasted world and there's fucking ruins everywhere and they're still saying this, like things like that kind of throw me out. But I think if you got a good story, stick with the fucking good story. Make things fit within that good story. And some of the quests are just redonkulously dumb.
Yeah, I think
side quests, I think they need to be choosier with.
Yeah, I think it's just like they're buying for time in a way, which is pretty much exactly what fetch quests are. But I agree with you. But they're trying to get to like a certain length that you play the game for, and it's really hard to stretch or create a story that stretches that long and stays interesting the entire time. They've done it, trust me, and it is possible. There's very excellent stories that take long time to develop and progress, but you have to have a very good writer. I think the Mass Effect trilogy.
I played some of them before.
I think the Mass Effect games do a very good job of keeping you invested throughout most of their long game, especially 1 and 2. 3, the ending was okay, and then Andromeda we don't talk about. But
it's like Batman and Robin. It's the Batman movie that never happened.
Yeah. So, but I think it's possible. It definitely is. You just kind of, it has to be like one of the main focuses from the get-go, which is what BioWare usually tries to do. They're because especially, I don't remember his name. I'm gonna find his name, but the gentleman that worked on Mass Effect 1 and 2, the lead writer, that's like always their main goal is to get him doing what he does best, and that's writing fantastic stories. And like even like KOTOR, the story of KOTOR is really good. It was just like a super bland MMO. And you're like, well, I got to deal with a super bland MMO. But you have this fantastic story done by this gentleman. I need to find his name. What's his name? One second.
All right.
Do you know his name, Shawn? Or am I just going?
No, I don't care. I'm waiting for the next topic.
Damn.
I want to do platformers.
Mass Effect, Mad Effect, Mass Defect. So
Harry
what's...
would probably know it. Harry's gay for Mass Effect. It can do no wrong.
Lead. Yeah,
I love hearing him defend Andromeda, dude. It's hilarious.
Who?
Perry.
The Perry. He will defend Andromeda to his dying breath.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Drew Karpyshyn. Karpyshyn, I think is it. Oh yeah, this smug dude. That guy. Yep.
That's me.
He does some excellent stories, but again, when he wasn't there for Mass Effect 3, he wasn't there for Andromeda, and look what happened. So it's cool to see.
Well, to be fair with 3, they wanted to end it a certain way, and they stuck by their guns with it. And when people got upset, they're like, "Look, this is the way we wanted to end the game." And I think the reason that they fucked up was ignoring. You gave people 2 games where their choices made a difference, and then a 3rd game where their choices made almost no difference.
Yeah,
that is the only problem. You could have still ended it the way you wanted, but given a vastly enough difference between the 3 endings to make the players feel like they brought themselves there, not like no matter what they did, it was pointless.
Yeah, and again, that's because he was not on lead writer position. And it's cool to see that he's working now on Anthem, so we might get... Anthem looks really cool, and on top of that, we might get a fantastic story as well, which would be cool. Because a lot of these grindy shared world shooter kind of games, a lot of the times their story is nothing fantastic. Destiny's kind of weird, but its story kind of got thrown away, and then we had The Division, which was just barely nothing.
And then they pulled some of it out of the trash.
Yeah, pretty much. And they uncrinkled
the stuff that was on the top, and that was what was left.
Kind of rolled it on the table a bit to straighten it out, and they're like, "Oh, well, we'll put this together." But it's nice to see that they're making a multiplayer shared world type of shooter that looks expansive, that's going to have a fantastic story. I'm hyped for this game. I really hope it holds up to...
We talking about that one with the power armor?
Yes, Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem. That looks pretty good.
That's basically the one that they threw Mass Effect away because they were working on this game. That was their new IP that they've been working on all this time. So
they might have also thrown it away because it was hot garbage.
No, I don't think the other Mass Effects were bad. Andromeda was bad, but that's because it was garbage. But I like the other Mass Effect games. Woo! That burp. So,
we got pooping and burping. Now we just gotta have somebody throw up and
burp into the microphone.
We're straight.
Speaking of pooping, it's my turn. No, I'm just playing.
He's like, I've already gone.
Yeah.
I'm loaded.
So, any other pet peeves that we could think of? We're
with platforming, knockback. Mother of God, from somebody who's played 3 Ninja Gaidens, the first 3 Ninja Gaidens, I played every Castlevania. Knockback, for the love of God.
I feel you. And I think I can see the point behind it because you're supposed to take more. It's supposed to force precision, but it's kind of a cheap way to do so.
What does that mean?
It's like if you take damage on a platform, you get pushed back and you slide.
Yeah, but I mean,
a
minimum
of a platform
1,
from
2, 3, 4.
Where are we counting?
5, at least
His fingers.
6 or 7 of the final of the Castlevania games all have knockback, and the whip is not a precise thing. It swings slow. It doesn't have an accurate range. You have to predict where the enemies are going to be. Like Castlevania, I mean, it was always a challenge game. It wasn't on the level that like Ninja Gaiden was or Ghosts and Goblins, but it was a challenge game, and it could be ruthless. But knockback, that was such bullshit. So I mean, you would sit there and intentionally get yourself stuck on stairs and get hit rather than trying to fucking figure out a way to hit that thing and get knocked off the platform. Yeah. Like, I mean, there were so many cheap ways you'd try and find a way, and every now and then something would happen where they wouldn't knock you back, and then you pause the game to thank the Lord for being. Like, you'd be like, oh my God, it would be a holy moment because it was so rare.
A spiritual experience.
And then. Yeah, and then when they went into the Metroidvania thing, when they went back into that, then you didn't have it as a concern so much. But damn, dude, knockback is probably my biggest pet peeve. That and like when they try and mix platforming with bullet hell type shit, where there's like shit flying through the air from all angles, and you're trying to platform, that's annoying.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I don't think Cam's really played much platforming. How about?
I hate it. That's why I hate platforming in general.
No, I like
Mario.
Oh, got her. Damn, it depends on what Mario.
Yeah, it depends. Like I played like 3D World. 3D World, I really liked.
I like 3D World. 3D World was.
I like Luigi's Mansion.
In areas.
Does that count?
That's not a Mario.
That's not Mario. That's a Luigi game. Luigi's a loser.
Luigi game.
Yes, it's a Mario game.
You fucking.
It's a spin-off.
Luigi's not a loser. Luigi's my dad.
Luigi's a loser.
Luigi's my daddy.
Oh.
I see him on the weekends.
Stop.
We're gonna find pictures of Caitlyn in various states of undress, curled up with Luigi on the internet.
Oh God.
Fucking Princess Daisy's gonna be like, "What the fuck, Luigi?"
Dude,
that's right.
Princess Daisy, Caitlyn and Daisy.
Although Princess Daisy's basically just a recolor of
I was
Princess
like,
Peach.
is she really though? Is that
no?
That's
She
never
was
actually
when they did the Mario Game Boy games. He rescued a princess named Daisy because nobody thought about continuity at that point. And then when they decided to roll it all together, they're like, "Oh, well, he rescued Daisy, and Daisy ended up in a relationship with Luigi." Even though the game ends with her walking up to a Mario and a heart popping up, and then them getting really close. Yeah. So basically, because Mario's with Peach,
we meet up in Cape Canaveral.
You're his side bitch. You're the side bitch.
We go to the casino for a few hours.
I like how Shawn, just no matter what's happening, he just won't fucking stop talking.
He just keeps going.
Like, we can say anything, and if Shawn's like, he's damn committed to finishing his fucking sentence. He doesn't care what it sounds like. It's like, this sentence will finish. I don't care what the fuck's happening.
Did you hear what I was talking about?
Nope. I don't think so. Yep. That was fantastic.
Did you know what I was talking about?
Yeah.
What was I saying?
All I heard was Cape Canaveral.
What the fuck?
See, he doesn't know. You caught him red-handed.
On the weekends, I go with Luigi to Cape Canaveral.
Does Luigi please you, Cam? With that mustache?
She likes his gooba.
She likes his gooba. It reminds me of that one, what was that? The Starbomb song, yeah.
Yeah.
So gross.
I picked Toad.
That's Toad.
He's shaped like a dick. Fantastic. Oh, man.
I do like,
Mario and
I don't
Luigi
like
like,
all
yeah, you
Mario
got a point.
I don't like I like it when I'm bored.
What, Mario?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you have any problems with Smash count? No? Okay.
I really like Smash. Actually.
Yeah, no, I do too. I like Smash 4 a lot.
I like to kick ass, you know?
Yeah, but do you though?
I do.
Okay.
Come on.
All right.
You
All
like
I do
Luigi
is
in
kick
Smash?
What?
She mains Luigi.
You like Luigi in Smash?
Actually, no. I hate Luigi in Smash. You know, I don't like how he performs.
Oh God. Let's stop this.
No, my main is Little Mac.
Little Mac.
When it comes to smashing, Luigi has performance issues.
Aww.
Aw, he needs a little extra help.
If only, man. I want a super dark game about Luigi where he kills himself.
Stop.
That's canon. That'd be fantastic.
What?
Did you just saying that Luigi was best man, and now you're like, no, I want him to die.
Well, I don't want him to die, but I just want something that
In-game.
shows his like emotional trauma he's experienced all these years of being player 2.
Kyle's a sellout.
A sellout. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
I don't know.
Tune into this O'Reilly commercial. Oh.
Stop.
Auto parts.
Shut up.
Wow.
Shut up. I don't even know what you're saying.
Oh,
No.
Okay. That was
Are we
a
done?
shit show.
Thank God.
ice levels.
Ice levels.
Ice levels and platforming.
You're
Ice
just not
levels are
good at
bullshit.
Ice.
platformers.
Oh my God. Ice levels. The stupid bullshit where you go forward.
That's what ice does.
There was. Shut the fuck up. There was a level in
Ice goes forward.
there was a level in Mario 64.
Yeah.
And it was an ice level, and you had to move
Well, it was
places.
a snow level.
And you would go from one level to the next, and then you would fall, and then you'd slide right off the edge, and it made me so. It triggered me
Every
forever.
time.
It triggered me. I can't take ice levels anymore.
I don't think there's anything
level
wrong with them
triggered
because all you
everyone.
got to do is get good and then problem solve.
Did you just say I'm not good?
Yeah, 100%.
Who are you again?
Kyle.
I'm having a
You're
major
host of the Thought
problem.
Patrol podcast.
I'm having a
Someone that
major
gargles
problem.
penises for a living.
Yeah, that too.
He does it all the
How do you
time.
gargle a penis?
He does it on Saturdays at 2:00.
Yeah, right before the podcast. I do the podcast notes and then I go to Cape Canaveral.
Saturdays
with
at
Luigi.
2 o'clock.
No, only I go to Cape Canaveral.
Gargling Kyle.
What were there was something I was
damn
gonna
it.
say before ice levels was brought up and I don't remember. Fuck.
I don't know why Shawn's laughing.
I don't remember what I was gonna say before he brought up ice levels.
Penis?
I'm laughing at the fact that in your planner at 2 o'clock every Saturday, it's like, must gargle dicks.
With Luigi at Cape Canaveral.
It's not.
There's no
I don't
passion
need
or
Luigi.
spontaneity behind it. It's like a job for you. It's like you have to schedule it, get it done between 2 and 2:30, then you have laundry.
Yeah.
You have laundry. Is Luigi your daddy, Kyle?
Yes.
How much does he pay you to suck his dick?
Wait, why does he have to pay me?
I'm gonna fucking travel down there to visit. It's gonna be fucking noon. I'm gonna be like, dude, let's go see this movie. And you're like, nah, man, it's not gonna be done by 2. I can't.
Yeah.
Fuck. Sorry, I gotta go.
So you pay Luigi.
No. Wait.
Who pays who?
No one. Why do you have to pay to gargle a dick?
Boy, was that your prostitute.
No. Am I prepaid? Do you guys want to prepaid?
No.
They play a card with like 10 dick gargles per card.
It's like a Christmas present.
Yeah,
You open it up in front of the family.
you get the 11th dick gargle for free. Have a little
Get it in
stamp.
one of those coupon books every Friday.
Yeah.
Instead of getting 10 hugs, you get 10 dick
Yeah.
Oh god.
Now
God.
that the make fun of Kyle for 5 minutes segment is over.
Could that be a weekly thing?
Once you've gotten 10 dicks gargled, you get a toy.
If I get anyone in the comments saying we need a segment where we make fun of Kyle for 5 minutes,
I'll do it. I'll do it for 10 minutes. I'll do it for an hour.
that'll be the next episode's podcast.
She's like volunteering.
Let's make fun
You're gonna
of
see
Kyle
a
for 2
comment
hours.
from Caitlyn on the video.
From linking a
It's gonna be
different
like,
account.
not Kyle's sister. Yo, do the segment.
Yeah.
Do the segment. Do the segment.
liked by Kyle's sister.
Yeah.
But Kyle's other sister.
All right. Well, that brings us to an end here. We just broke,
good.
We just broke the 2-hour mark. So
this was good.
yeah, it was a good episode. Thank you for joining us, Shawn. Although it was a little late, he did be here for the main topic.
Better
which was good.
late than never.
I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Again, if you like our content, go ahead and drop a subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. If you want to talk to us, we do have our Discord as well. And we'll be happy to hear from any of you. If you have anything to say, I'm still waiting to be taken up on this, on any feedback suggestions. I do, again, if you want to leave a iTunes review, it will be read on the podcast. I don't care what star it is. As long as you're not saying anything that can be considered a racial or homophobic slur, we'll be good to go. And then at that point, we'll probably just beep it out or something. But yeah, don't make yourself public enemy number 1 by leaving a shitty review. I will find you, and I'll gargle your dick. So
For 15 minutes minimum.
yeah.
15, damn.
Yeah. So
Well, it's
that was-
9:15 now. We did like 15 minutes of Kyle gargling dicks. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that was episode 15. Or no, 14. My bad. 14 of the Thought Patrol podcast. We do appreciate you all joining us every week to listen to us ramble like retards for 2 hours.
I'm the only one that's not retarded.
Okay, whatever. But thank you for tuning in again. And we will see you
Stop laughing like it's a
next week.
joke.
Wait. Can we get a sign off from Caitlyn? What do you got for us?
I'll see you guys at Cape Canaveral.
be there, girl.
What about you, Shawn?
Cool.
Hugs and kisses and all your pink parts.
There you go. Thank you all for tuning in, and you all have a fantastic week.